Hey everybody, Reba Girl here. Excuse me. I've did a lot of thinking and I decided to make this video about the subgenre that I mentioned in my last video about gore. If you don't know what gore is, it is movies that's very explicit. It can be very violent, very bloody. I really think a lot of these gore movies do not need to be gory because it really does not suit to the plot of the movie. Like, for example, Terrifier and Terrifier 2. If you don't know those two movies, it's about this supernatural serial killer clown named Art who goes and starts killing anybody and everybody. I mean, basically, that's it. And it shows what he does to these people. I really don't think that all that should be in the movie because it does not goes with the plot. For another example, that gore that does go into the plot as part of the plot is the Human Centipede 2. If you have not seen that movie, is about this guy named Martin who was aided as a child by his father. His father is in prison now, and he is mentally and emotionally scarred from those experiences. He become obsessed with the movie The Human Centipede. So he decided to build his own quote unquote pet. Like in the first one, instead of 3 people, it is 12 people. That movie has the reason why it's gory. Because Martin is not a surgeon like in the first one. The first one, it was a surgeon. He was famous for separating conjoined twins. So he had the skill, he had the knowledge. Martin does it. He does this mess in a warehouse with regular tools, staple gun, duct tape, stuff like that, a hammer. There's a reason why that movie is gory. And with the Human Centipede 2, it's in black and white. There is a color version out there. I have seen both. Unfortunately, I regret seeing 2 in color. I could deal the second one in black and white more than the color version. Yeah, so those are 2 examples why gore should not be in there and why gore is part of the movie, so it's okay for it to be in there. I mean, a lot of people can agree with me and a lot of people don't have to agree with me. That's the thing about horror. We all have our right to our opinion. I just suggest we be respectful to it and respect each other about our opinions when it comes to the movie horror, because a lot of people don't really like talking about the movie horror, well, horror movies in general, because a lot of people do get uncomfortable and a lot of people do feel ashamed of watching horror movies. Even though black and white horror movies, there are people that is ashamed of watching it because they believe that horror should be made for people to watch. It should not exist. Begin with. Yeah, with gore, I just think there's some movies that it should not have it in there. Not like to the point like Terrifier and Terrifier 2. And they are making a 3rd Terrifier. So yeah, like I said, with Human Centipede 2, there's a reason why it is greedy, it is gross, it is grimy, it is nasty. Because this guy is not a surgeon and he's putting 12 people together, okay, from mouth to butt. Um, yeah, I mean, like, you can watch a disturbing horror movie without hardly any blood in it. There movies out there that's like that. Um, for example, Silence of the Lambs. That is still considered disturbing to a lot of people, and I can see why. You got a cannibal serial killer helping the FBI to catch another serial killer, you know. But that movie barely has any blood in it, barely anything in it. It's more the psychological to make it disturbing. With gore, it's just, to me, you could be disturbing without the gore, without the guts and the grime and the greediness. If it belongs in there, that's okay, I guess. But if it has nothing to do with the plot and it's just there to be there, there's no reason for it to have it in there at all, in my opinion. Like I said, I have the right to my opinion. But yeah, it to me, having a little bit of blood is okay. It depends on what kind of horror movie it is. Um, for another example, that the blood is in there as a plot, the movie Eat. It is a 2014 movie. It is about this woman who's trying to become a famous actress. She's keep failing getting roles, so she decides to become an audible cannibal. Audible cannibalism, if you don't know, is someone that eats a part of themselves. Believe it or not, if you chew on your fingernails and bite them, unfortunately, I'm guilty of that. You are an audible cannibal. Point blank. Yeah. Uh, gnawing on your hair. Guess what? You are an audible cannibal. But this girl, she takes it to the stream with herself. She bites part of her foot. They really don't show it. Like in flashes, they show it. It is a sad movie. It to me is about depression and going down a rabbit hole of your own depression. To me, that's what that movie's about. Sprawling. See, I can say the word when I don't think about it. Yeah. See, that movie is the reason why it has blood in there. Because it is part of the plot. It is part of the plot. Uh, yeah. Eat is a very good movie. It is very bloody. If you can't stand the sight of any blood in any type of movie, do not watch it. It is a very sad movie. It's a pretty good movie. I watched it twice. Um, but yeah, gore. If it has a reason for the blood, it should be part of the plot. It's okay. But if it's just there for the shock and awe, to me, why? Why? If you've seen one fake guts, you've seen them all. Why is it so memorizing for someone to see someone getting mutilated in a certain way? Is my question. Um, yeah, sorry, I was scratching my head. Um, yeah, gore to me, if it's part of the plot, like I'm gonna keep saying, the human centipede too. There's a reason why it is greedy, it is gross, it's out there. This is not a surgeon that's doing this procedure to these 12 innocent people here that he kidnapped. and throw them in a gritty warehouse. Nothing sterile. I mean, so there's a reason why it's more graphic. Terrifier and Terrifier 2, and soon Terrifier 3 supposed to be coming out this year or next year. There's no reason. There's no reason to me. Just for the mutilation. And to me, that's stupid. That's over the top. To me, it's stupid. And before anybody asks in the comments, did you see 1 and 2? Yes. I should have put that on my list last night of the ones I was disturbing horror movies I will not do a review on. That should have been in there. Unfortunately, I didn't think about it. I was so tired last night. Yeah, to me, gore is it's like a hit and miss, I should say. If there's a reason for the blood, okay. But making it over the top, there's no reason for it to me. There's no reason to having so embellished. Human bodies don't have that much blood, people. We're not anime characters. We don't have 50 gallons of blood inside of us. I mean, we don't. That's not how the human body is. So yeah, to me, gore is there's really no reason for all that grossness. Watching somebody getting filleted. If you don't know what filleted is, look it up. If you're too lazy to look it up, I'll tell you what it is. Is taking the human skin off till you see the muscle. That is fillet. There's no reason. There's no reason for it. Why do we need to see that? Why? What is the point? You could with Terrifier and Terrifier 2, they could have just start showing a little bit of it and cut the black. So you getting the idea. Like the Human Centipede 1, we do not see all of the surgery of that they eat. The doctor who performed the surgery of these 3 kidnapped victims in the first Human Centipede, we do not see the whole procedure. We just see a cut of the butt cheek and a tooth pull. That's it. That's it. They didn't show us anything. We knew what was happening without seeing it. Like I said, with Terrifier 2, they could have just showed the beginning of what he was going to do, cut the black, and there you see the corpse. So you knew what was going on. You knew what happened. You just seeing the aftermath. Like the famous scene in Terrifier 1, the girl hanging upside down and gets sawed. Not sideways, straight in the middle like the old medieval torture method. Punishment. We didn't need to see the whole thing get that poor girl getting sawed. I know it's fake. People don't come after me in the comments. It's just fake, creeper girl. It's fake. It's fake. Ooh, it's fake. I know it's fake, but we don't need to see it all. And the infamous scene from Terrifier 2, the babysitter who gets totally mutilated. She just gets mutilated. Do not look up for that scene if you have not seen it, because if you don't have the stomach, don't watch it. Um, See, we did not need to see the whole thing. Like I said in the beginning, for Terrifying 1, Art could have started sawing the girl, cut to black, and then we could see the aftermath of the corpse. Terrified 2, beginning of the girl's mutilation, cut to black, and her mama could see how she looked afterwards. Uh, there you go. You still get your gore without us seeing it, how it was done. I, I just think really the gruesomeness of these types of movies don't need to be there. It's just my opinion, people. Don't come after me. I have the right to it. And like I said, there's a lot of movies that's out there that's bloody, that has a point. Eat has a point to it. The Human Centipede too, it has a point to it. And there's probably other movies. It's just my head is still hurts, so it's kind of hard to think. Um, but yeah, so I might be keep repeating myself. I'm sorry. It might be annoying. I can't help it. This is who I am. I'm sorry. It's just like I said, Silence of the Lambs barely hardly any blood in it, and yet that a lot of people consider that movie gross. I mean, literally, I have read articles. They put Silence of the Lambs as one of the gore films. Gore films. I'm like, where? Where's the gore? It's in there. I have seen it. I have looked it up. Gore films. Silence of the Lambs in that list. Another movie that it's got some blood in it, but it's not gory. Raw, that I made with my ABCs of Disturbing Movies. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. It's pretty good. Uh, that's my second video I ever made. That's actually a real video. Go check it out. It's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Raw is about a vegetarian girl who goes to veterinary college. She gets haze. One of the haze is to eat a rabbit kidney, and after that, she has a taste of the urge to eat flesh. It's like a coming out story. Yeah, that really had hardly any gore in it. It has some blood in it, but it was necessary to the plot. The SEX scene with her male roommate, instead of biting him, she bit her arm, and you see some blood coming down her arm because she did not want to attack him. Her eating her older sister's severed finger because she had that urge. There was a reason. See, there was a reason to that disturbing scene. It's because it was part of the plot. We're seeing her getting more and more hungry for flesh, which she didn't have it before until she started going to veterinary college and got haze. She was happy being a vegetarian. So see, those scenes has a reason. It has a little bit of blood in it. And Raw is still was in that list too of gore movies. Raw is not gore. Eat is more gorier than Silence of the Lambs and Raw put together. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Point is, I just think that sometimes war is not necessary. Sadness, The Sadness, 2021. Awesome movie. That was one of my entries into the ABC of Disturbing Horror Movies. It's an awesome movie. Very violent, very gory. There is a reason to all the gore. Okay, I think they did not need to show us all of it. Um, you got people slicing people, tearing them up, and um, it's because of this virus that makes people go. How they put it, it activates the part of the brain for the darkest desires and makes people act on it, like raping, um, murder, um, cannibalism, and we get to see as an audience these scenes. We get to see it. There's a reason. See, that's a reason why the blood is there, the gore is in there. There's a reason because we're seeing what this virus does to people. Yeah. And there's a reason why the title is called The Sadness. The people that is infected, they will before they go on their animalistic desires. They shed one tear, like they're crying, because they know they can't control what's about to happen. So, and if anybody has epilepsy, do not watch the last 2 seconds of the sadness at the end because it will show the title screen and it's flashing. I don't want nobody to get an epileptic seizure. So when you see the end coming up and cut it off because you just basically watch the movie. Don't wait for the title screen because it could put you in an epileptic seizure, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So please watch the movie. It's very good. It is very violent. It is very bloody. But that last few seconds at the end, cut it off because the title screen does flashes, and I don't want y'all to have a seizure. So see, like I said, there is a reason why some blood and violence is in there because it's part of the plot. Terrifier, there's no reason for that to be in there. It's not part of the plot. What is the reason why we're seeing what he's doing? Why? Why? Y'all just wants to see the mutilation. That's all it is. And I get it. People like the gore. People like the mutilation, but I don't. I seen one fake intestines. I seen them all. Like I said, a little bit of blood don't bother me. It's just when it goes to freaking overboard, it's ridiculous. It's like, come on, people. Really? Really? I mean, is to me it's eh. It's eh. To me it's not necessary. Like I said, if it's part of the plot, yes, I can understand why it's greedy, it's grimy, it is bleh. But too much of it, and especially if it has nothing to do with the movie itself, why? Like I said, this is just my opinion. I don't want people to come after me. Don't tag me, please, because this is just my opinion. Um, yeah, I think that's it of my little rant of gore. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, till next time, people, give me a like, give me a sub if you're not subscribed, leave me a comment. I hope it's a good one. Until next time, bye.